Good afternoon and welcome to the news on CMS TV Online. I am Claire Taylor and here are some of today's main headlines. The UN has released its findings concerning the chemical attacks which took place in Syria last month. The gunman who carried out a killing spree in Washington DC on Monday has been identified. And with a year to go to the Scottish referendum, surveys have been released revealing the impacts independence may have on businesses. And now for the world news. A report released yesterday by the UN confirms there's substantial evidence that sarin was used in a rocket attack which took place in the Syrian capital Damascus last month. The UN investigators examined blood, hair, urine and rocket samples, with 85% of the blood samples testing positive for sarin. US Ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power, has stated that due to the high quality of the sarin used, the type of rocket, these technical details make it clear that only the Assad regime could have had the capacity to carry out such a large-scale attack. The chemical attack has been labelled by the UN as a war crime against humanity, declaring that the perpetrators must be held accountable by the international community. These discoveries by the UN follow the deal brokered at the weekend by Russia and the US, under which Syria has agreed to disclose its chemical weapons within a week and eliminate them by mid-2014. The US, UK and France have welcomed the proposal, seeking a strong UN resolution, however highlighting the serious consequences which Syria will face if they fail to hand over their chemical arsenal, along with a structured timetable for the dismantling of it. If Syria conformed to the proposal, then the current threats these chemical weapons pose to the world, as well as the Syrian people, will be eliminated. John Kerry has revealed that all the countries involved in the deal have agreed to military intervention as a viable option if the current act of diplomacy should fail. Washington mourns the deaths of 12 people at a naval installation in DC on Monday, as gunmen now confirmed as Aaron Alexis commenced a killing rampage. Alexis, the former Navy Air serviceman, was killed at the scene which devastated the Washington Navy Yard in the US Capitol. The attack, which took place at around 8:20 a.m. local time, also saw another dozen wounded. Police are investigating the motivations behind the former serviceman's actions and how he gained access to the facility. That's all for the world news. Join us after the break for the UK and business news. Welcome back to the news on CMS TV Online, and now for some UK and business news. Nick Clegg of the Liberal Democrat Party has pledged to push for an elimination of income tax for those earning minimum wage. Clegg has promised if his government takes office after the next election, then he will tackle the huge issues surrounding the minimum wage debate, stating tax fairness as a continued party signature. Speaking from the Liberal Democrats' annual conference in Glasgow, he said political parties needed to be upfront with the British people about those issues which really impact the majority of people. However, he has refused to say which policies would be his red lines in any coalition talks, with just over 18 months ago until the next election. Lloyds Bank is currently undergoing privatisation, as the government plans to sell 6% of their shares in the bank to private clients in the hope of gaining the best value for the taxpayer and maximising support for the economy. Monday's share figures have shown that the stake could be worth $3.3 billion, cutting the government shares in Lloyds to 32.7%. George Osborne, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, announced the government's plans to sell its shares of Lloyds back in June in 2008, with the government bailed out Lloyds by buying shares at a low market value, adding to the national debt. But now, with increasing share prices, it looks more likely that the government is going to repay its debts and the taxpayer should be reimbursed. This Sunday marked a year to go until Scotland's referendum on independence. Evidence collected through surveys and reports show that the referendum will have little impact on UK business. A British Chambers of Commerce survey, which included a total of 2,000 companies, found 9/10 of these were unfazed by the referendum. The companies who reported that no impact would come as a result stated that 68% of their trade came from outside Scotland anyway. Those who flagged up concern over referendum-related effects said they were more pronounced in companies' Scottish operations, highlighting the referendum's impact to mainly hit the investment decisions which companies carried out in Scotland itself. Join us after the break for some sports and entertainment news.
Do you need help with legal issues such as visa applications or immigration matters? Has your application been denied on more than one occasion? Whatever your issue, immigration, crime, employment, family or housing, A&C solicitors are here to help. We provide legal support and expertise that you can depend on. Call us now on 020 3581 2097. We pride ourselves on offering our clients a full commitment in providing a favourable outcome to their claim. We specialise in immigration and human rights law, and we have an understanding of the need to provide affordable legal services. Call A&C Solicitors now on 020 3581 2097 or visit us at ancsolicitors.com. A&C Solicitors, legal support at your reach.
Welcome back to the news on CMS TV Online. Now for some of the sports and entertainment news from over the last few days. Over the weekend, Andy Murray led Great Britain to victory in the Davis Cup World Group, claiming victory over Croatia's Ivan Dodig. Great Britain won the title for the first time since 2008. Murray, who is currently ranked number 3 in the world, won both his single matches and alongside Colin Fleming, led Britain to doubles victory on Saturday. A successful weekend for Murray, having not played in the Davis Cup for 2 years. In other exciting sporting news, the Great North Run, which took place on Sunday, saw the likes of Great Britain's Mo Farah racing alongside the greats Kenenisa Bekele and Haile Gebrselassie. The 13-mile run saw the 3 famous athletes battle for the win, and in the last 400 metres, despite an incredible effort by Mo Farah to overtake Bekele, he was pipped to the post by 1 second. Britain's double world and Olympic champion looks to make a great transition into the marathon, which are his eventual aims. Having completed a successful summer of the World Championships, he sets his sights on running his first full marathon next year. Released on Friday the 13th, the awaited sequel to horror film Insidious, released in 2010, was finally released with its second chapter taking the US box office by storm. The film, starring Patrick Wilson and Ross Byrne, tell the tale of the haunted Lambert family who seek to uncover the mysterious childhood secret that has left them dangerously connected to the spirit world. Coinciding with the superstitious date of Friday the 13th, Insidious 2 attracted 3 times the number of viewers to that of its predecessor in 2010. Despite mixed reviews by critics in its first weekend, the film was raked in over £26 million. Comedian and actor Billy Connolly has recently undergone surgery for prostate cancer and has now been diagnosed with the early stages of Parkinson's. The operation concerning prostate cancer was a complete success, and Connolly is said to have fully recovered. The 70-year-old Scottish-born star has stated that he will continue to work as normal, coming to terms with his diagnosis of the initial stages of Parkinson's. Having been assured by experts that these findings will in no way inhibit or affect his ability to work, Connolly will start filming a TV series in the near future as well as undertaking an extensive theatrical tour of New Zealand in the new year. Billy has been commended for speaking about his condition and at such a difficult time. And now for a look over the coming week at the weather. Despite a brighter start to the morning, clouds are continuing to creep overhead and blustery showers are expected. The outlook looks the same throughout the week, with Friday seeing a slight improvement of sunny intervals and temperatures remaining around 16 degrees. Over the weekend, things look to be brightening up with increasing temperatures, with the possibility of Sunday seeing 20 degrees. And these drier spells are continuing on to early next week. Thank you for watching the news on CMS TV Online. Goodbye.